Alright guys, welcome back to the second half of my top 10 favorite movies of 2016. And like I said before, I didn't get to see all the movies this year, one of which being Shin Gojira. I was unable to see Shin Gojira, so unfortunately that's not on my list. Yeah, I know, I'm bummed too about it. Anyway, so let's talk about my top five. And as always, before we go any further, I would like to say that, as always, with these lists, is that it's just my personal opinion. And if you think a movie should be higher or lower on this list, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. Um, yeah, that's just how, it's just my personal opinion and how I felt about these films. But actually, I thought it'd be interesting because I actually ran into a lot of good movies this year. And yeah, there were some stinkers as well. But I want to go in real quick about the movie, some honorable mentions before I go to the top five. Those being 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love that movie. It was such a great suspenseful and tension-filled film. The Witch was another great film in my opinion. I thought it was a nice little period piece horror. Elvis and Nixon, very little known, and I really loved just Michael Shannon and Michael Shannon's performance as Elvis, as well as Kevin Spacey's performance as Richard Nixon. That was great. X-Men Apocalypse. This was very close to being on the list, but unfortunately, a few movies did take that name, beat it to it, so I had to cut it out. So X-Men Apocalypse, I did enjoy. I know that's a very polarizing film. Um, Following that is The Magnificent Seven. I really loved Magnificent Seven. It's a great callback to to old Western films, and Chris Pratt and Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington. All of the people in here are great as their respective characters. I think it's a fun, again, it's a good callback to ye old Western films. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's a medieval film, even though it's not. Yeah. So let's go into my top five, starting at number five, The Nice Guys. The Nice Guys is such a great film, and honestly, I wasn't expecting much because Shane Black, I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man 3. I know there are fans out there of Iron Man 3, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying that I hated Iron Man 3. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't my favorite Marvel film, and probably the one I like the least. I know again, it's another polarizing one. I just didn't roll with it for me. But yeah, with The Nice Guy, Shane Black shows how good he is at dialogue, and the interactions between Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling are great. I love just seeing these two characters who are quintessentially different people, and neither of them are really the best people. But it kind of shows that they can be heroes in this very just insane journey through through 70s California. And there's some just great dialogue in here, and this movie has made me really excited to see what Shane Black is going to do for Predator. I am really excited for that. But yeah, this was actually a lot higher, but a few films got in the way of it. So this I wanted this. This movie was locked in for me in my top 10 list. So yeah, at number five, The Nice Guys. Number four, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange for me was so good, and I was expecting to I was expecting to like it, but I didn't have a high expectations for it as I did with Civil War. And oddly enough, yeah, Doctor Strange, even though Civil War is on this list, for me, and this is just for me personally, Doctor Strange for me gave me a little more enjoyment than Captain America Civil War. And not to say Captain America Civil War, it was still on this list. But yeah, Doctor Strange had such great performance from everyone in here, especially Benedict Cumberbatch and Tilda Swinton. And I still love how this film is one of the few superhero films that really acknowledge, oh my god, I just killed people, and I'm supposed to be, I'm not supposed to be this. So I think that was a great moment. And there's some great personal moments between the Ancient One and Stephen Strange. Of course, how am I not supposed to talk about the just eye-popping effects and stunning visuals from this film? Granted, it does run into the problem of Caecilius with all the Marvel films, having a great actor like Mads Mikkelsen just relegated to being, I'm evil. You won't stop me this time, He-Man. I mean, Doctor Strange. You didn't think I'd pull out Skeletor. But damn it, I pulled him out. That sounded really wrong. I'm sorry. So at number 4, there you go, Doctor Strange. Now we come on to number 3, Star Trek Beyond. I gotta be honest, I had so low expectations, especially from the trailer, and I gotta say, this is my favorite of the Abrams universe, even though this had nothing to do with, literally little to nothing to do with Abrams. Justin Lin did it. I think he did a great job on this, and the writing from Simon Pegg and the rest of the writing staff, I think, is phenomenal. This feels so much like classic Star Trek, and yet it still feels like in your face, the new kind of new wave action they had with it. Everyone here is amazing, and I thought it was a great how they managed to do so much, and especially give a lot of love to Anton Yelchin, who had passed away months before the film. I mean, weeks. I think it was weeks before the film's release, as well as Leonard Nimoy, of course, the original Spock, and they managed to tie, his death in here and make it a not only, Leonard Nimoy's passing and tie it in with the death of past Spock and give, Zachary Quinto's Spock, make that a part of his character. I thought that was totally genius. So, and again, action sequences are amazing. The cinematography is great. It's so good to see, like, all these characters, like, act. The more we see into these films, they act more and more like the classic TOS show. So I thought it was just I just thought this movie was a blast, honestly. And again, I had so low expectations for it. Again, I really did. I was not hyped for it, and even my dad was like, when he first saw the trailer, he was like, "This is what I'm getting for for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek." Oh my god, it was so good. So at number 2, we come to number 2, and that is Star Wars Rogue One. Did you not expect that movie to be on here? This was so good. I was thinking, oh, what if this sucks? And to my surprise, no, this is probably my favorite Gareth Edwards. I know he's only made 3, but of the 3, this is my favorite. And this is from the big Godzilla fan. I thought this was a film that really, played into A New Hope so well. Everything about this movie is just beautiful. I think, there are some flaws. This does have some flaws here and there, but still, I feel like there was enough to these characters, as well as, the cinematography. I really think this needs to get at least, I'm not saying it should win, but damn it, give it at least a nomination at the Oscars for Best Cinematography. At least give it a nomination, because it deserved it. This is such a great, love for the original trilogy, and I adored this movie as a Star Wars fan, and yeah. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, I really love this movie. But however, there was one movie that kind of beat it out. And yeah. Yeah, but before I go into my number 1 pick, I want to talk about some of the films I hated. Now, again, if you enjoyed these films, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. I've got, no problem with that. But yeah, there were some bad. There were some films I just did not enjoy. And I'm going to go from ones I just didn't enjoy to ones I just straight up hated. So, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I didn't hate this movie, but I just was kind of bored. I was just bored with this film. And Eva Green is really good. Terrence Stamp is really good. But a lot of the kid actors are just like, I don't care. This movie kind of dragged at points. But I didn't hate it. I know people, a lot of people this comes from a book series, who are big fans of the book. And I'm kind of interested to read the book series now. But yeah, this movie was just not for me, and it's not because I never read the book series, just because, but I do want to read the book series now to see how good it really is, because I know there's some fans on here of my channel who enjoy the book series, but yeah. Moving right along to Legend of Tarzan. I didn't hate this movie, but yeah, looking back on it, I was like, yeah, this was just not, this was not good. This was just not good at all. I didn't enjoy this. There were some good moments here and there, but I was like, I don't care. Moving right along to Warcraft. Again, even though I'm not the biggest Warcraft fan, at a standpoint, I was just like, man. I mean, the orc stuff is really good. That's the saving grace here, and I like this. a bit more than most. That I know there are some diehard Warcraft fans who did not like this movie, but I enjoyed the orc stuff. It's the human stuff that dragged for me. That felt, it just didn't feel right to me. Anyway, so I think I should, but yeah, these next two, of course, you probably guessed what the two movies on here that well, two of the three. The first one being Suicide Squad. Oh my god. I know I gave a good, like a decent enough review on it, but looking back, I was like, the fuck was I thinking? Because I watched that movie, and I watched the extended cut, mind you, and I was like, yeah, what was I thinking? Because this movie, and again, I know there are fans of this film, and I do, again, this is just my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion on this matter. If you enjoyed the film, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. Just me personally, God, this movie was a mess, even with the extended cut. And, yeah. DC, you gotta get your shit together. Especially with Batman v Superman. What the flying fuck, Warner Brothers? Seriously, you need to get your shit together. Because that was a train wreck. Suicide Squad was one thing. This went what? But no, here's the weird thing. I can find good things in Suicide Squad. I can find good things in Batman v Superman. I know, it's totally shocking. But here's the thing. One movie I hated more than those two. And I can tell you without a doubt, Independence Day Resurgence. Fuck that movie. Waste of 2.5 hours of my fucking life. I walked out of there going, I would rather watch all of the DC films so far, all two of them. Well, 3 counting Man of Steel, but anyway, I digress. I would rather watch that, because again, I can find things that I like in Suicide Squad. I can find things I like in Batman v Superman. Oh, those are not great films in my opinion, but I can still be like, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Just wish it was part of a better movie. Not this. Not this. No. No thank you. So there you go. My most hated movie is Independence Day Resurgence. And I know there are some really, really bad movies, but yeah, that one took the fucking cake for me. Anyway. So, let's move on now to my number one. And my number one is, drumroll, I can't do drumroll. So, it is none other than Arrival. Oh, this movie. I had no expectations for this movie. I was just like, oh, Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams are gonna meet aliens. Okay. I think I've seen this before somewhere. This is our generation's Close Encounter to the Third Kind. This is very reminiscent of that film. I had no expectations for this movie, but when I walked out of there, I walked out of there going, oh my god, this better get an Oscar in some way. Like, Amy Adams just blows me away. And keep in mind, this is the same year that she did Batman v Superman. And then you see that performance in Batman v Superman, and then you go to see Arrival. It's astonishing. It is astonishing. Jeremy Renner is also brilliant in this film. I love the dichotomy between the two of them, and just how Forrest Whitaker's also in here, and how this is played up. It's not a typical alien invasion story. It is a very human story on both the human and, well, the human side. It is a film that I could go on and on, especially what happens in the center of the film. There's a point that made me go, oh shit, how did I not see that? It's like a Shyamalan twist, but good. That's the best way to describe it, honestly. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That is my top 10 favorite movies. Once again, this is just my personal opinion. But once again, you guys tell me, what did you guys think of 2016 films? And what are your top 10 favorite films of 2016? Just comment below, let me know. Also, just let me know for shits and giggles. Mention the movies you didn't like the top 10 movies you didn't like this year. But once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.